Welcome to AI Frontiers, where AI breakthroughs come to life. And let me tell you, things are really heating up in the world of AI. I mean, today we're going deep on some seriously game-changing developments, from AI that seems to think just like us to some ethical firestorms brewing around Apple's latest iOS update.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating time to be watching this space.
Hmm.
We're seeing this real acceleration in AI capabilities, and it's raising some pretty big questions about the future of technology and, frankly, humanity.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about DeepSeek-R1.
Yeah.
This AI, it was developed in China. It's making waves not just because it's powerful, but because it's open source.
Right, DeepSeek-R1 is licensed under MIT, so that means anyone can use it, even for commercial purposes, and it's rivaling OpenAI in math and coding. And the fact that it's freely available, that's a potential game changer.
So what does this open source revolution mean for someone like me, someone who isn't a developer? Could this be my chance to create the next big AI-powered app?
It's certainly possible. I mean, think about it. Access to this level of AI technology has traditionally been limited to big tech companies with, deep pockets. But now imagine a world where anyone with a good idea and the right skills can build sophisticated AI applications. It has the potential to really democratize innovation.
Okay, so that's mind-blowing. But with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Yeah.
What about the potential for misuse with something like this?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
Hmm.
Open source, anything comes with risks. AI is no exception. We need to be having some serious conversations about ethical guidelines and regulations as this technology becomes more accessible.
Speaking of ethics, let's move on to Apple and their latest iOS update, version 18.3. It's packed with new AI features, but there's a growing debate about whether users have enough control over them.
Yeah, the issue is that many of these AI features are turned on by default.
Hmm.
So some people are arguing that users should have to explicitly opt in to using them. They want more transparency about how their data is being used and how these AI systems are actually making decisions.
So it's about user choice and understanding what's happening behind the scenes.
Exactly. And it's not just about Apple, it's a broader conversation we need to be having about AI as it becomes more integrated into our daily lives. I mean, how much control do we want to retain? What are the trade-offs between convenience and privacy? These are questions we need to grapple with.
Okay, so we've got open source AI kind of shaking things up on a global scale. We've got ethical dilemmas swirling around the tech that we use every day. It's a lot to process.
It is. It is. But it's also incredibly exciting. We're on the cusp of a technological revolution, and it's crucial that we engage with these issues proactively.
Well, before we get too lost in the ethical weeds, let's take a step back and talk about something that's straight out of science fiction AI that can reason like a human. So tell me about Meta-CoT.
All right, Meta-CoT is this new framework that's teaching AI to think in a more non-linear way. So instead of just processing information step by step, it can jump around, consider different possibilities, even double-check its own work.
So like when I'm trying to solve a tricky puzzle and I have to backtrack or try different approaches?
Precisely. And the results are impressive. They're seeing significant improvements in accuracy on complex tasks, like coding and answering scientific questions.
Okay, so let's break this down. What does this mean for the average person? Why should I care if AI can reason like me?
Well, imagine AI that can help you with really complex tasks, like planning a multi-leg trip or writing a research paper, even designing a new product. That's the kind of potential we're talking about with this level of reasoning capability.
That is some serious future tech.
Ah.
But is AI truly thinking like us, or is it just a really good simulation?
Well, that's a question that philosophers and computer scientists are grappling with right now. The lines are becoming increasingly blurred, but what's undeniable is that AI is becoming more capable of doing things that we once thought were uniquely human.
So is this the beginning of the singularity? You know, that point where AI surpasses human intelligence?
Well, that's a popular topic in science fiction, but it's important to remember that we're still in the very early stages of AI development. Whether and how we reach a singularity is pure speculation at this point. What we can focus on now is ensuring that AI is developed responsibly and ethically.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm definitely starting to feel a little overwhelmed by all of this. It seems like AI is moving at warp speed. So where can I go to stay up to date on all these developments?
Well, that's where we come in. Make sure to follow us on social media at AI for the People. We're constantly sharing the latest news and insights.
Yes, and don't forget to tag us with hashtag AI Frontiers so we can see what you're thinking about all this mind-blowing tech. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. The future of AI is being shaped right now, and it's a conversation we all need to be a part of.
We've covered a lot of ground already. Open source AI, ethical concerns, and even AI that might be thinking like us. But there's so much more to explore.
That's right. We'll be back in just a moment with more insights and some truly groundbreaking AI innovations. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to AI Frontiers, where we're diving even deeper into the world of cutting-edge AI, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.
Okay, so before we went to a break there, we were talking about how AI is starting to reason in ways that seem almost human. And it's pretty mind-blowing, but I have to admit, it's also a little unsettling. I mean, what happens when machines can think as well as we can?
Yeah, it's a question that has kind of fascinated and frightened people for decades, but it's important to remember that AI is still in its infancy. We're a long way from creating machines that can truly rival human intelligence in all its complexity.
So you're saying we don't need to worry about robots taking over the world just yet?
Not exactly. The real concern isn't some Hollywood-style robot uprising. It's about ensuring that AI is developed and used ethically, that it aligns with our values and serves humanity's best interests.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do that? I mean, AI is developing so rapidly, it feels like it's almost impossible to keep up.
You're right, it's a challenge, but there are organizations and individuals working hard to address these ethical concerns. They're developing guidelines, promoting transparency, and advocating for responsible AI development.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the people behind it, the choices they make and the values they prioritize.
Exactly, and that's where public engagement comes in. We need to have these open and honest conversations about the potential impacts of AI, both positive and negative.
So it's not just up to the experts to figure this out. It's on all of us to stay informed and make our voices heard.
Absolutely. The future of AI is being shaped right now, and it's crucial that we all play a role in shaping it.
Well, on a lighter note, one thing we haven't talked about yet is how AI is impacting the world of creativity. I'm curious to know what you think about Tencent's Hunyuan 3D 2.0.
Ah, yes, Hanyuan 3D 2.0. Now that is some seriously impressive technology. It can generate photorealistic 3D animations from text prompts. We're talking about detailed, lifelike animations, not just your basic cartoons.
So I could literally write a scene in a script, and this AI could bring it to life in 3D.
That's the idea. And it's not just for entertainment. This technology has huge potential for architecture, engineering, even medical imaging.
Okay, but isn't there a risk that this kind of AI could replace human artists and designers?
It's a valid concern, and it's something we need to be mindful of. But I think it's more likely that AI will augment human creativity, not replace it altogether.
So you're saying it's more of a collaboration, a tool that artists can use to enhance their work.
Exactly. Think of it like a digital paintbrush or a virtual sculpting tool. It can help artists bring their visions to life in ways that were never before possible.
That's a much more optimistic way to look at it. I guess it's all about how we choose to use these tools.
Precisely. And that brings us back to the importance of ethical considerations. We need to ensure that AI is used to empower humans, not displace them.
All right, so we've got AI that can reason AI, that can create. It's like we're living in a science fiction novel. But what about the practical side of things? How is AI impacting the way we work and live right now?
One area where we're seeing a huge impact is in automation. AI is being used to automate tasks in a wide range of industries, from manufacturing to healthcare to finance.
So robots are taking our jobs?
Not necessarily. It's more nuanced than that. While some jobs will inevitably be automated, AI also has the potential to create new jobs and to make existing jobs more efficient and fulfilling.
So it's not just about replacing humans. It's about finding ways for humans and machines to work together more effectively.
Exactly. The key is to focus on tasks that require uniquely human skills, like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence.
Those are the things that robots aren't so good at yet.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
But who knows what the future holds.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the potential of AI to reason, create, and automate. But we've also emphasized the importance of ethical considerations and public engagement.
It's a complex and rapidly evolving landscape, but it's one that we need to navigate carefully and thoughtfully.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to take a moment to address something that's been on my mind.
I'm all ears.
We've talked a lot about the potential benefits of AI, but what about the risks? What are some of the things we need to be aware of as AI becomes more powerful and pervasive?
That's a great question, and it's one that we need to be asking ourselves constantly. As with any powerful technology, AI has the potential to be misused. It could be used to create autonomous weapons, to spread misinformation, or to invade our privacy.
Those are some serious concerns.
They are, and that's why it's so crucial that we develop ethical guidelines and regulations. We need to ensure that AI is used for good, not for harm.
But who gets to decide what good is?
Mm.
And how do we prevent these technologies from falling into the wrong hands?
These are complex questions, and there are no easy answers, but it's a conversation we need to have as a society. We need to involve ethicists, policymakers, technologists, and the public in shaping the future of AI.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the values we embed in it.
Exactly. And that's why public engagement is so important. We need diverse voices and perspectives to ensure that AI is developed responsibly and ethically.
This has been a truly fascinating conversation, but I'm sure our listeners have even more questions. Is there a way for them to connect with you and learn more about your work?
Absolutely. You can find me on social media at AI Ethics. I regularly share articles, insights, and updates on the latest developments in AI ethics.
Fantastic. And don't forget to follow us on social media at AI for the People and tag us with hashtag AI Frontiers in your posts.
We love hearing from our listeners and engaging in thoughtful discussions about the future of AI.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive. We've talked about the potential benefits and risks of AI, the importance of ethical considerations, and the crucial role of public engagement.
It's been a fascinating journey, and we're only just getting started.
Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore even more groundbreaking AI innovations and delve deeper into the implications of this rapidly evolving technology.
We'll be back soon with more insights and perspectives. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to AI Frontiers. We're in the final stretch now of our deep dives, and I'm still reeling from everything we've discussed so far. It feels like AI is evolving at warp speed, and I'm trying to wrap my head around what it all means for us, the everyday humans who are kind of caught in this whirlwind of innovation.
It's true, the pace of change is really accelerating. But amidst all the breakthroughs and all the buzzwords, it's important to remember that AI is ultimately a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. The real question is, how do we steer its development in a direction that benefits humanity as a whole?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We've talked about ethical guidelines and responsible development, but those are big, abstract concepts.
Really?
What can we do as individuals to make sure that AI is a force for good in the world?
Well, one of the most powerful things we can do is to stay informed. We can read articles, listen to podcasts like this one, and follow experts in the field. Knowledge is power, as they say. And the more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions about its development and use.
Okay, so we need to educate ourselves. But what about action? Can we do more than just read and listen?
Absolutely. We can support organizations that are working to promote responsible AI development. We can advocate for ethical guidelines and regulations. And we can use our voices to speak out against the misuse of AI. It's about being proactive, not just reactive.
So it's about using our voices and our choices to shape the future of AI.
Exactly. Think about it. Every time you interact with an AI-powered system, whether it's a voice assistant, a social media algorithm, or a self-driving car, you're providing data that helps shape its development. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, that's a powerful thought. It makes me realize that we're not just passive observers in this AI revolution. We're active participants.
And that's both exciting and a little bit daunting, wouldn't you say?
Definitely daunting. I mean, how do we even begin to wrap our heads around all the complexities of AI? There's so much technical jargon, it can feel overwhelming.
You're right, it can be a lot to process. But that's why it's so important to have resources that can break down these complex topics into understandable terms. Podcasts like AI Frontiers are a great way to stay up to date without getting bogged down in all the technicalities.
Yes, we aim to make these deep dives informative, but also accessible. We want to spark curiosity and empower our listeners to engage with these crucial conversations.
And that's ultimately what it's all about, creating a space where people can learn, share, and discuss the future of AI in a meaningful way.
Speaking of sharing, let's give our listeners a way to connect with us and continue the conversation.
Absolutely. You can find us on social media at AI for the People. We're constantly sharing the latest news, insights, and of course, our podcast episodes.
And don't forget to tag us with hashtag AI Frontiers so we can see your thoughts and questions. We love hearing from our listeners.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the frontiers of AI with you all. We've covered so much ground, from the potential of open source AI to the ethical dilemmas surrounding its development.
We've delved into the mind-bending possibilities of AI that can reason like humans and even create art.
But what I hope you take away from this deep dive is that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's something that we're all shaping together.
So let's stay curious, keep exploring, and keep the conversation going.
Smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media for daily AI insights.
Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. The future of AI is in our hands.